Well, hi everyone. My name's Christian, aka Aphrodite. I go by he, him, she, her pronoun, depending on which persona I'm in at the time. Well, not a persona, but person or whatever. I identify as gay.
Hi everyone. I'm Antoine. I go by he, him pronouns, and I don't really know what I identify as, but for the most part, I just be going with the gay flow for now. Experimenting in school, so.
Hear that? My name my name is Tahim. I am a gay male and I identify as he, him, they, whatever.
Cute. Um, I could speak about mine. The first time I heard about HIV is the first time I ever had sex. I was very uneducated because in my high school they really didn't talk about, gay sex or, like the risks that come with having gay sex or like what could possibly happen. So like I remember the first time, like when I actually lost my virginity, I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, like I'm gonna get something and blah 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 and this and that. And I was just like freaking out and all over the place and stuff like that. So like, when I went I got my first HIV test at Planned Parenthood before I knew about empowerment, and they explained to me like what HIV was and like how like it's kind of difficult to contract. Like you don't you like sometimes you can get it the first time you have sex. It takes people like multiple people to have if you are having unprotected sex. But that's like my first experience with it. But then coming here to like Pride for Youth, I feel like I learned a lot more about HIV and like what it really is and like how it's not like a death sentence and like how like you can live a comfortable like healthy life with it. So I think that would be like my experience with it.
My first time, I mean, like how you said, kind of school, when you have your health class, they don't ever get into it really like they should. Like, like this can happen this way, that. No, they're just like, okay, STDs, HIV,
Yeah.
next lesson, and it's just like okay, yeah, sure. So it was kind of in class, in terms of really getting in depth with it. Like you, it wasn't until I started having practicing sex, and now that I'm a pro, you just kind of keep yourself informed on those things. You always want to be protected and whatnot, and when you do, if you do, not use a wrapper or glove, then you ensure that you go and get yourself tested as soon as possible, so that way you can kind of keep tabs on your status. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't learn about HIV until like 2008, until I got into this line of work. Because I grew up very conservative. In schools, we didn't have sex education.
Oh.
So it was just like it is what it is. I just found out about it. My sister's best friend actually had it. We didn't know what it was. So it was a lot of negative stigma around it. Like we'll go see her in the hospital. Then when we get home, like we'll take off our clothes, put them in a bag, and just like throw those clothes away.
Wow.
Because we did not know anything about it or what it was, which led me to do research and like what is it, how people get it, what happens with it, which led me to this line of work.
That's great.
That's crazy.
Okay.
The bag thing.
I I feel like HIV is everywhere I turn. Like not just the message, the prep, the pep, just in the different bars, the venues, working with people, talking about it every day. Um, it definitely made me a little more empathetic,
Yeah.
sympathetic towards people, and a way more understanding. So that's how it affected me.
I mean, I feel like, me having a better, like, understanding of HIV, it made me want to protect myself even more and also protect the people I care about who are around me who may not know so much about HIV and, like, how it's not serious, but how serious it could, like, get and how it can affect your life and, like, not in, like, the health aspect, but how people treat you or look at you. Because, like, I feel like, when, if someone is diagnosed with HIV, I feel like they already have the stigma, like, oh, you're a slut, you sleep with everyone. Like you just let people do whatever they want to you. When in retrospect, you don't know like how they contracted it or like what they've what their journey was like to that they had to get to that to get that to that point. Some people you know, it's like either rape or it's like, you know, they're with a partner for years and the partner's cheating on them with multiple different partners and they're having sex with them unprotected and that's how they get it. So, I feel like HIV, like, really gave me a better understanding of like my community and like making people who do have it feel comfortable and let them know that, you know, if anything, I'm there for them, and to let them know that it doesn't change who they are, it doesn't define their character, like it doesn't like, you know, make me think any different of them because of a status, you know, because like you're a regular person and who am I to judge? Because it could be me. You know what I'm saying? It could be me. It could be me. So what? How am I to sit here and be like, well, you're a slut. You're disgusting. Like how like what did you do to get that? Like, you know. And then I feel like, you know, the world is so full of ignorance when it comes to that, and it's just like, you know, people just need to educate themselves more on it before they try to like completely knock the person who has it down, and just like see like, you know, how they feel, because, you know, like.
For me personally, I feel like I haven't had much personal, you know, interactions in terms when it comes to HIV and even just the information on it. Again, I've only been attending Pride for Youth for like a year and a half now, and that's kind of where I got intimate about, you know, even learning about it and, you know, knowing people who have it, well, at least to my knowledge. So that's kind of how I've been intimate with it, and it's just been in terms of me knowing that, hey, this is not like a death sentence to you, and you're not, you know, like how you said, you don't treat them any different kinds of way. You know, they're people just like you, and situations happen. So, yeah, I've just kind of learned that, okay, it exists, and people are fine, and, you know, you just promote healthy lifestyles, and I've also gotten PrEP because I was in the Pride for Youth. So, yeah, just awareness for me, really.
Yeah.
I I would assume is the culture, the way we were raised, the very, you know, this is my family. Just being accepted as being gay is difficult within itself. Just because they're church folks and things of that nature, and then to be gay and then to have HIV, like that's a double whammy. That's something.
And being black.
Right. That's something you definitely don't want people to know, and people go untreated and they go having sex with people because they don't know that they have it because they're just simply afraid of getting tested because they don't want that result. I definitely wouldn't say it's a lack of resources because we definitely are oversaturated with resources. It's just the coverage of people actually going up and, you know, getting tested and feeling okay with themselves, I guess.
I mean, I personally think, like, I agree with what you're saying, but I think that, you know, within the African American community, like, I feel like we're always like a last thought amongst like America as a whole. Like, I feel like people always want to say like they're for African Americans and helping us and like uplifting us, but then when it's time to do that, like they're not really holding to their word or like really trying to like be there for us or anything, because it's just like, I feel like a black person who is diagnosed with HIV, you know, it's like, oh, well, that's expected. Like, we saw that coming. But, like, and it's not that big of a deal. But, like, you know, if a Caucasian person were to do that, were to be, like, positive, then it's like, oh, my God, like, we feel so bad for you. And I feel like, you know, that's why, you know, black men, like, if they do have HIV, like, they tend not to even think about it or really even give it a second thought, because it's just, like, people aren't going to care anyway. People aren't going to want to, like, you know, look out for me anyway. So, like, why, you know, should try and look out for myself if no one else is going to? Which I think is a really bad thing, because I feel like, you know, especially in the world we live in now, black men and black people in general just need to look out for themselves more than ever, especially like with everything else against us.
Personally, I feel like how you kind of said, lack of resources. I feel like our communities don't get the information that we should have. In schools, you ain't even like, you don't even hear about it. You don't even have sex ed classes and whatever. I only had one sex ed class in 5th grade, and then not again until I was in high school. So it's not promoted having that kind of information. So it's like, oh, you know, you're not even thinking about going to get tested or whatever the case is. It's just like, oh yeah, I can have sex willy-nilly because that's kind of what you see on TV and things of that nature. And within our communities, because we don't have that information, shit is just passing off hand in hand because no one knows exactly what's going on. And then if they are aware, there's that stigma that's behind it that's super enforced because, you know, of our culture, you know, anything wrong is just, oh my God, you are, go to church, all that jazz. Like, it's, you know, it's, everything's hyped up. So it's having that information is just like, you are now the black sheep of, you know, so you try to keep it to yourself so that way you can kind of still, you know, fit in some sense.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's really, like, it's scary, like being ostracized, like being outcasted from your family, like not having your family there to like support you because like they don't really understand like it, or like, you know, because I feel like within the African American culture, like you said, like, you know, with the church thing and the church being like such a big part in like African American culture, like I feel like Black people let the church cloud their actual thoughts and like vision of like what it is in actuality. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like because like me being a person who has two very religious parents, like, you know, them accepting the fact that, I mean, they're in extreme denial about it, like they are just not cool with that at all. But like that's all because of like, you know, their ideals from the church. You know, and like you could be all about God and everything, but at the end of the day, like God loves all his children, right? So he made us all in his own image. So I'm just like, so why is a man loving a man so wrong? Like no one's heard.
Because they hypocrites.
That's fact.
They be having premarital sex all the time.
I mean, yeah, because that's dead ass facts too. Like, you know, like, I mean, I feel, yeah, especially because I know, like, when I first started having sex, like, my parents were like, why are you having sex for you're not married? And I'm like, well, it happens.
Did they really say that?
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
Like, my parents are very, like, old school, like, and stuff like that, but I'm sure they've had premarital sex. My mom had, like, my older brother before she met my dad. Oopsie. So, like, you know, so, yeah, I mean, like, I, like personally, like, I just, like, you know, at the end of the day, like, I gotta still, like, love who I am. And, like, if I did happen to become, you know, like, have a contract HIV one day, I don't think it would really affect me that much because I know that I have people around me who still support me. And, like, you know, I'll still have, like, you know, my self-esteem and my, you know, my motivation to keep growing. So,
and there's
like,
medical resources now.
And there's medical resources
for you
now to live, like, a normal life.
Precisely.
Right. I think it's going to impact the community very well because now black gay men will know about HIV, have a better understanding of what it is and like how to protect themselves from it, how to, or if they, you know, are living with it, how to like live like a normal healthy life, and knowing that they can live a normal healthy life, because a lot of people who do contract it don't know that they think that like, wow, no one's gonna want me, like no one's gonna want to be around me anymore. And I feel like it's good for us to have this to uplift Black men as a whole, and you know, just like let them know like that, you know, that there are people out there for them who care and like who want them to live successful, healthy lives.
I also think in kind of today's times where I guess social media, in a sense, like when there's a day for something, you be going wild on all your social medias on whatever day, whatever's today. Oh, it's Donut Day, or it's, you know, National Siblings Day. So for us to have a day that is focused kind of on our health and us being Black as a community, both of those like back to back, like that could be a trending hashtag, you know, that goes on Twitter and everybody's like, yeah, you know, you might go post that, oh, I just got tested, and, you know, that becomes the thing that everyone does, like, and I think that would be like super great, like, because everyone's going to be feeding back off each other. And, you know, in today's society, we kind of piggyback, but this would be a good piggyback rather than, you know, being something negative or anything of that nature. It's like, oh, no, I'm tested, or that's the day that all, you know, accounts might be posting health facts and things, and you kind of get good information out of it. So I think it'd be really, really amazing.
And I think that is so great that it's in like February, which is considered Black History Month, you know? So it just like promotes like Black, you know, power and like Black like acceptance worldwide. Because like if, you know, this goes global, then, you know, it'll like big awareness for not just Black men in America, but Black men all over the world. You know, because I feel like there's prejudice like amongst Black men everywhere. So it's good that, you know, we have this, especially this month and this time to really do it, you know?
Right. I just wish it got more recognition than it didn't do.
Yeah.
Because right now, only places like this recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to go to a school, they'll be like, a what?
Yeah.
Like they'll look at you like you were crazy. So I think once we get more recognition, like you said, like Facebook, social media, and stuff like that, those are the tools that we need to make this what it is and what it should be.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows what Black History Month is,
Mhm.
but I'm pretty sure anyone outside of this field or this environment doesn't know.
Or I feel like they do know, but they just don't care enough about it to give it its recognition. You know what I'm saying?
I think
And,
that's you know part of it getting its momentum. So
Yeah.
like at least you know now it's like all right, because I'll be honest, I didn't know about it until today. So I didn't know that we had a specific day for this, and that's awesome.
Yeah, me too.
And now it can kind of you know begin rolling its momentum. Now I can pass that on the 7th. I'm gonna be like, y'all, what's up? I'm glad that it's even getting out there because again, right now I already know now, and that's one more person
Who
than it
knows?
was yesterday or
And you
5
can
minutes
just go
ago.
around.
So I
Yeah.
think you know we're right on course in
Yeah, we're
terms of
progressing, and
there being
that's what the Black community should be doing now, is because Black people don't realize how much power we have in society
Right.
and how much influence we have.
Mhm.
So I just think it's so important that we promote stuff like this so that Black people can know that like once we like help each other out and like just really join in the effort, like things can get better for us and like we can grow as just a people. Because we do have a lot of influence in a lot of the things that goes on. We just don't get recognition for it, but most of the time, we're behind it.
Yeah.
And that's why I find it so proud to be a Black person, because I know how much influence we have in this world, whether like other Black people want to realize it or not. Like I know that we have the power, and I know that we are the ones who are like making the trends, the slang, the fashion trends, everything.
Absolutely.
Like it's us, and I think that it's perfect that we know that. Everyone knows that. Please go out and get your test. Grow as a community. Love each other. Help each other. And stay beautiful, because you are beautiful.